Hello, this is Coach Carol at eDesign 24/7. Once you've arrived at this site, which is eDesign247.com, and you're wanting to build your website quickly, I'd point you toward Start Building and click on there. And this is where we will arrive. Okay, we're going to go down and look at some of our choices. Now, this is the first step in our design process. So we have a variety of templates and they're really flexible. I actually don't like that word template because it suggests something that's rigid. But let's look at one of these. For instance, you'll be able to change the dog, the background, the font size, color, and choice of font. You can move things around. You can totally change things around. Here's another one. Rather than having your menu at the top, it could be down here. And there's so many different choices of color and size and layout for your actual menu. Okay, I'm going to choose this one here. I rather like that. Nice and peaceful. And then what we can do is, if I can show you this, you want to click on Next, and it takes you to this particular one. It says your free address. It's almost like a free domain name, if you've heard of that before, and this is what would appear up in your URL, or where your website address would be, and I'm going to call this Peace. Okay, so the actual URL of my website would be www.edesign247.com. Okay, for the site name, I'm going to call it My Piece. I'm not going to fill anything in here now, but I am going to go to Next. Now, what you need to do is to be able to fill in your username and your password twice, and your email address. Decide whether you want to have both receive emails and be remembered on the computer that you're logging in. Okay, so once you've done that, I'd really encourage you to write down your username and password. Masses of students forget to do that. Very simple. Remember to read the information that's up here for both the username and the password. When you're ready, then click Next. And then you will receive this particular page, which is really a confirmation you did everything right. Okay, so, and here you choose whether you agree or disagree. And here I am at my Travelog website. Okay, now let's look at a couple of things here. I am going to go down to this area, click on a menu item, and take a look at what we have here. Now, there's two things that I asked you to do for the tutorial. Was to click once on a photo, an image. Some of them may be inherent to the structure. This one is not. I can tell that by these little dots that appear. Also, after I've clicked on it once, I can move it around. So I want you to get some practice in doing that. Secondly, we're going to locate some text and do the same kind of thing. Here's an example of my text. Again, the text box has these little dots on it, just indicating that I have activated it, so I can move it around. Okay, there we go. Now, a couple other little things that you might notice. If I click on any of these buttons, I can change the size of it several different ways. Okay, if now I choose to change the text, I must click on it twice. Click within the box twice. Okay, now it's not cooperating. Sometimes that'll happen. I'm going to go outside of the box, click outside of the box, now click twice within the box, and here it's activated. You can see my little cursor up on top. I'm going to move it down here and I am going to actually delete this amount of text by highlighting it. Very similar to how you would do that in a Word program or even using your email program. I'm going to use a backspace and get rid of it. That's pretty easy, isn't it? Still see the little cursor there? Now I am going to just randomly put some letters in here. Really simple, just like again Word or many other word processing programs. Okay, now let's look at one other thing. For the moment, I want to introduce you to the editor tools. This is just a really fabulous tool to get to know and be able to use it quickly. Now, you see other tools up here. I'll introduce you to those in future lessons, but right now I want you to identify the small little button to the upper right of the editor. Click on that and we have a menu that appears. It is these two items I'd like you to look at. This one, as you can see, is called a body text box. I'm going to click on it once. You'll see that this box appears, and into this box I can click twice. I'm going to get rid of that, and again I can add some more text. Just get familiar with that function. Okay, and again look at how you can change the size of that box. Now, kind of ruins the overall appearance of my new website, so I'm going to get rid of it. And where do I do that? I can do that one of two places. Either use the bin here or the bin up here. I'm going to go down here. Okay, it will always ask you this just to confirm that that action you initiated is indeed the action that you wish to move forward on. Only if life could be that simple. Okay, now let's just look at this one here, which is title text box. Now, this is actually what this one is too. Now I can tell that by clicking on it once, and in my editor it identifies that it's a title box, basically. Now, the reason that the title box is different than the text box is simply because it is more searchable for Google and other search engines. How else can I put that? Often people will use words in the text, the title box, that reflect keywords that people may use to search for a site like I'm making, a travel log in New Zealand. Okay, I think that's it for now. Again, review those two things, which is moving around your image box and maybe even deleting it. Then looking at moving around your text box and being able to do a couple of functions with it, deleting some of the text. Also looking at your title box. Get familiar also with this lovely little editor and look at the buttons here. Okay, now once we get into class again, I will remind you that we can make a new website. It's not costing us anything for the first 14 days. So enjoy yourself, have fun. You can delete these sites and start again. Ooh, let me just show you where you can delete them because that's pretty important right now. Okay, and it is right up here. Delete and start again. So do that a couple of times. Relax and enjoy yourself. Remember, I don't want you to be serious, and keep breathing. Goodbye for now.